Here's how to make the ultimate legendary pirate build right at the start of Assassin's Creed Black Flag ReSynced, and get all the best legendary gear in the game step by step, starting with the best legendary weapon. Now, one thing that most people don't understand is that the weapons in this game all have damage stats, and some are obviously higher than others. But the fastest way to actually take down enemies is by breaking their yellow defense bar with the grappling hook, followed by a sweep, and then landing a finisher, or instead you can just land a perfect parry. After doing this, you'll get the takedown option, and if you have a weapon that says you can do a maximum of 4 takedowns, what that means is that after you initiate the first takedown, you'll be able to chain it together 4 times over, killing 4 guys in a row. Then you can do another perfect parry and chain together another 4 kills. Even on the hardest difficulty, this is how you kill enemies quickly, and it feels absolutely epic when you do it. And this build puts together a series of items that essentially maximizes your ability to do that over and over successfully. And we're going to be using a cutlass, and the power attack on this weapon lets you stagger multiple enemies at once, which is especially useful on ship battles where people are all close together. The earliest legendary cutlass you can get is located right here in the Jabara region, specifically on the island of Great Inagwe, just here on the map. Now, to unlock this pirate base island location, you need to finish the start of the main quest prologue. It happens very early on. Then you can talk to the treasure dealer on the docks here to buy the treasure dealer's building for 5,000 coins. It also comes fully upgraded as well. I'll talk more about how to get money quickly later in the video. But now you can buy the matched golden swords from the map merchant. These deal 25 damage and they can do 4 takedowns, which is the most in the game. And they have a legendary perk to make them easier to perform by increasing the time that you have to land a parry. And also you can trigger takedowns from further away. But to unlock this weapon, we need to first get 8 deer hide, 12 crocodile leather, and 20 sugar. So let me show you how to do this. It sounds pretty crazy, but you can get crocodile leather easily in the northeast region of Eleuthera, in the town of Nassau, just here on the map. So if you zoom into the map, you can actually see there's a crocodile hunting area located on the left-hand side where there's a swamp just on the west of the big manor house. So once you arrive in that manor house, you can just use the eagle's vision to see the big red crocodiles hiding underwater in the swamp. And then you'll be able to nail them with a bullet to the brain, which does do more damage to them. The best part is that all the trees above are going to allow you to take them out safely with a pistol. You can try and fight them in melee if you like, but it's a bit of a struggle, especially early game. So go ahead and skin them, and there's normally going to be free to kill each time you come here. If you run out of ammo, don't worry, you can just run over to the nearby general store and buy some more. It's super cheap to purchase. And then to make the crocodiles respawn, you need to fast travel away and then wait by holding down the D-pad while on dry land, and then you'll be able to pass from day to night and then back to day again. Then you just fast travel back, all the crocodiles have respawned, do the same thing again until you have 12 crocodile pelts. Next, we need the deer pelts, and there's 2 locations you can find these. The first and earliest one is in the Jabara region, just here at the Salt Lagoon. It's a tiny little island, and a quick tip, if you actually zoom in and click on the deer hunting icon, you can then hold the D-pad upwards, and then a path is going to appear directing you to that hunting spot. However, there's only 2 deers on this entire island, so it's a pretty slow farming spot. There's a much faster location to farm them in the very southwest corner of the map in the Chinchorro region. And it's pretty easy just to sail over here. There's nothing stopping you. And you'll want to come to the island of Sant Helenis, where the Aztec temple is. Now, this island has a lot of deer on it, and you can easily sneak up on them and shoot them from a distance to skin them. Or you can use the gun blades to shoot them at point blank. Just reset the location in the same way we did with the crocodile pelts, and you'll have 8 pelts in no time after 2 visits. In fact, you can sell the extra pelts. Finally, we need to get 20 sugar, and this is really easy to do. Just head out on the jackdaw with your telescope device and spy a nice juicy sweet snack. And by that I mean a lonely ship that has sugar on it. And the telescope tells you what materials are on that ship when you zoom in. Most are going to carry 10 to 30 sugar on them, so decimate the ship, board it, and steal the booty. If you're struggling, you can also watch my ship upgrading and pirating guide. Now we have the required materials, we can go and buy the legendary weapons from the map merchant. But this is only the start of our build. So you're probably wondering, what is the best legendary pistol in Black Flag? Well, it kind of depends on your playstyle. I call these the gun fu flintlocks because they slow down time with each shot. And if you've upgraded your pistol holster, you can carry 4 pistols at once. So you'll be able to rapid fire 4 headshots one after another without reloading. This creates an insane situation where you can clear a whole room of enemies or maintain stealth despite using actual fireworks as a weapon. Like here we have a group of enemies escorting a prisoner. All we need to do is land that first headshot, and then we can just line up in slow motion and watch the body slowly hit the floor after the effect ends. It's so satisfying to use this pistol over any other gun I've found in the game, especially since you move at full speed while everything else is in slow motion, so it's pretty great for setting up assassinations too. These are the golden flintlock pistols, and they have an ivory color which makes them pretty unique to look at. They also deal 28 damage a shot with a 1.2 second draw speed, which is obviously amazing. And you can obtain them here in the pirate base of Great Inagwe in the Jabara region. You will need to first rebuild the general store for 500 gold coins, and then upgrade it again for 2,500, and then again for 5,000 coins. And now the general store is a proper store, and it's going to stock these legendary pistols for sale. However, they do cost 18,000 gold to purchase on top of all the shop upgrades you already paid for. So that's obviously a lot of reals to be spending. And you're probably wondering, how do I make gold in Black Flag early? Well, you can just go to the local tavern and ask for a tip for 100 gold. They will then mark the naval convoy on your map. It will be nearby, and you can easily fast travel to a nearby location you've already discovered and then just sail your ship over there. You can always see the lead ship because it has the most amount of gold on it. I like to use the mortar fire on the ship behind and then focus on taking them down. The lead ship is always carrying between 2,000 to 5,000 reals. And once you get on and loot it, you then also get the option to loot the captain's cabin for further rewards. So I got 5,000 for the lead ship here, and then 7,800 total just for looting the cabin. We can also sell the trade goods as well from the other ships for even more money, easily making 5,000 to 10,000 gold per convoy when you take one down. Then you just go to the next tavern and you do it again repeatedly. And by the way, just so you know, the further you go south, you actually see each region on the map has a difficulty rating. So the further south you go, the harder those regions are going to get, but the more gold the ships are going to carry and the more rewards you'll have. So now you've brought those pistols, the next thing our build needs are the trinkets that match our weapon setup. So these are the best trinkets we can obtain to boost the power of our build even further. There's a few options to pick here. Early on, I would recommend grabbing the hairlock trinket, which heals you substantially each time you perfect parry. And it's actually rather overpowered with the amount of healing you get just for doing a perfect parry. In fact, you can just stand there and repeatedly parry the same guy to heal back to full health. And you can also get it at the start of the game for free in the Jabara region on the other side of the Great Inagwe Island, where your pirate base is. Just get the boat, come around the other side, and then you need to do the Dark Anomaly quest about Edward's past, and that's going to net you Catherine's lock of hair trinket. The anomaly is impossible to miss, just go and interact with it. There's like a 20-minute puzzle story sequence, and then you get the trinket as a reward. In Black Flag, you can chain enemies together in takedowns, but the best weapon only has a maximum of 4 takedowns in a row. However, if you get the legendary Black Pearl trinket, you can add another takedown onto your chain, and this can be obtained from the treasure dealer in the Great Inagwe Island just here on the map, obviously after you rebuild his hut. It's going to cost you 60 wine, 40 spice, 30 tobacco, and 20 aloe. You'll get the spice and tobacco from the southwestern regions on the map. The only material you might struggle to find is the aloe, which is quite rare. You can normally get a few stacks of it from warehouses, and if you just use your spyglass to find ships that hold it, you'll be able to plan out your attack. You may have also noticed that the big brute enemies in Black Flag can stop your takedowns mid-spree. They just block your attacks. However, there is a legendary trinket called the Shark's Teeth that stops them being able to deny you. This means you'll now be able to instantly kill them during your takedown spree, which makes them way faster to deal with. And you can get these Shark's Teeth from the general store in the Jabara region on the island of Great Inagwe. You'll first need to fully upgrade the store to rank 3 before it becomes available to purchase for 25,000 gold. But with this, your takedown spree will become unstoppable, and you can just walk through all of those larger elite enemies, even the captains. Now, there are a few other legendary weapon options, but next we need to get a snazzy armor set and legendary ship skin. But since none of the armors or ship cosmetics in Black Flag actually give you any buffs to your character, this choice is really just personal preference. So here's a few recommendations you can get early. The fastest one to get is Captain Morgan's armor set, and I have a guide link below on how to get it. It's more of a classic pirate color scheme, complete with a pirate hat and flamboyant feathers. Or you have Captain Drake's outfit for the armored navy look, and I'll link another guide on how to get that below, which also goes over how to get a full legendary ship cosmetic setup, including your wheel, sails, hull, and so on, so everything just looks dapper. There's also the Master Assassin outfit, but that takes a lot longer to get. But like I said, there's actually a couple more legendary weapons you may have missed in the Animus that also work very well for this build. One of them lets you block and parry unblockable attacks, which then allows you to set up more takedowns and literally become immune to damage, because Caroline's Hairlock is going to be healing you each time you parry an unblockable attack. Those are the red attacks, by the way. Or this other sword that heals you every time you do a takedown. I've made a video guide explaining exactly how to get them and breaking down each one of the weapons so you know how it fits with this build. Do make sure you watch it, because you don't want to waste your hard-earned keys on the wrong gear.